皆さんこんにちは。Welcome back to my channel. Today we are diving into josūshi or counter words. You may have noticed that there are many different counter words in Japanese. We use specific terms to count based on what we are counting, and these are called josūshi. There are over 500 josūshi in Japanese, but don't worry, you only need to know about 20 for everyday conversation. In this video, we will cover 12 of the most common counters to help you master counting in Japanese. So let's get started. So what exactly are josūshi? They are special words used to count objects, people, animals, location, and more. These counters follow the number like 3個、6つ、9枚. Different categories of things have their own unique counter words, so I will explain one by one. Before we start, let me go over how to say 1 through 10 in Japanese, so we are all on the same page. 1、1、2、2、3、3、4、4、or 4、4、5、5、6、6、7、7、or 7、7、8、8、9、9、10、10。First up, we have one of the most common and flexible counters, つ. This is a general purpose counter used for a wide range of items, making it super handy when you are unsure which counter to use. However, つ can only be used for numbers 1 through 10. It cannot be applied to numbers larger than 10. You will often hear this when ordering at a restaurant and cafe. For example, コーヒーを2つお願いします。コーヒーを2つお願いします。Could I get 2 coffees, please? Let's count from 1 to 10 with つ。1つ、2つ、3つ、4つ、5つ、6つ、7つ、8つ、9つ、10。Next, we have 個, which is used to count any smaller items like apples or candies. For example, お菓子を7個買いました。お菓子を7個買いました。I bought 7 candies. Let's count from 1 to 10 with 個。1個、2個、3個、4個、5個、6個、7個、8個、9個、10個。Let's move on to 本。Used to count long objects like pen, trees, or bottles. It's also used to count the number of train services. For example, 山手線は5分に1本電車が出ています。山手線は5分に1本電車が出ています。The Yamanote line has a train every 5 minutes. Here's how you count with 本。1本、2本、3本、4本、5本、6本、7本、8本、9本、10本。Next up, we have 枚 used for flat and thin objects like paper, credit cards, or shirts. For example, when you are checking out at a store, you may say, レジ袋を2枚ください。レジ袋を2枚ください。Could I have 2 plastic bags? Let's count with 枚。1枚、2枚、3枚、4枚、5枚、6枚、7枚、8枚、9枚、10枚。When counting people, you will use 人. But remember, the pronunciation changes for 1 and 2 people. You will often use this at a restaurant to say how many people are in your party. Like, 2人です。2人です。5人です。5人です。Here's how you count people in Japanese. 1人、2人、3人、4人、5人、6人、7人、or 7人、8人、9人、or 9人、10人。Let's count animals. There are 2 ways to count animals, depending on their size. For small animals like dogs, cats, insects, or fish, we use hiki. For example, 犬を4匹飼っています。犬を4匹飼っています。I have 4 dogs. Let's count small animals with 匹。1匹、2匹、3匹、4匹、5匹、6匹、7匹、8匹、9匹、10匹。For large animals like cows, horses, or elephants, use 頭. For example, 上野動物園にはパンダが2頭います。上野動物園にはパンダが2頭います。There are 2 pandas at Ueno Zoo. Here's how you count large animals. 1頭、2頭、 3頭、4頭、5頭、6頭、7頭、8頭、9頭、10頭。Let's move on to hiki, which is used to count cups or glasses of drinks or bowls of food like bowls of rice or soup. For example, when you order beers at a restaurant, you might say, ビールを2杯お願いします。ビールを2杯お願いします。Could I get 2 glasses of beer, please? Let's count with hiki. 1杯、2杯、3杯、4杯、5杯、6杯、7杯、8杯、9杯、10杯。When counting clothing items such as pants, dresses, or jackets, you will use chaku. If you are going on a trip, it's a good idea to have 上着を1着持っていく。上着を1着持っていく。I will take a jacket with me. Let's count clothing. 1着、2着、3着、4着、5着、6着、7着、8着、9着、10着。When counting pairs of shoes, heels, or socks, we use soku. For example, 靴下を10足買いました。靴下を10足買いました。I bought 10 pairs of socks. Here's how you count pairs of shoes. 1足、2足、3足、4足、5足、6足、7足、8足、9足、10足。To count machines or vehicles like cars, PCs, or bikes, use 台. For example, 車を1台レンタルしたいのですが、車を1台レンタルしたいのですが、I would like to rent a car. Let's count cars. 1台、2台、3台、4台、5台、6台、7台、8台、9台、10台。Next, when counting buildings, stores, restaurants, or houses, use 軒. For example, この通りにレストランが9軒並んでいます。この通りにレストランが9軒並んでいます。There are 9 restaurants lined up on this street. Here's how you count restaurant. 1軒、2軒、3軒、4軒、5軒、6軒、7軒、8軒、9軒、10軒. Finally, to count floors in a building, use 階. This is super useful when you are talking about which floor to go, like at a hotel. The hotel staff may say, お部屋は7階でございます。お部屋は7階でございます。Your room is on the 7th floor. Here's how you count floors. 1階、2階、3階、4階、5階、6階、7階、8階、9階、10階. Alright, let's test your knowledge with a quick quiz. I will show you a picture and you guess which counter words to use. Are you ready? Let's go! How do you count 2 credit cards? 2枚、2枚. How do you count 5 trees? 5本、5本. How do you count 3 glasses of beer? 3杯、3杯. How do you count 7 cats? 7匹、7匹. How do you count 10 stores? 10軒、10軒. Now you know how to count with 12 of the most common Japanese counter words. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for the next video. I love to hear your thoughts. Please leave a comment down below and let me know what would you like to see in my future videos. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for upcoming video. ではまた。